Shutter speed can have a big effect on the look of your images. It controls motion blur. When you have a slow shutter speed, you're giving an object enough time to move and create that blur. When you have a fast shutter speed, you're able to freeze action. This is great as a creative effect, so we're going to practice shooting at different shutter speeds to see how that changes the look of your photo. In this exercise, you're going to need a moving object. I'm going to use this pinwheel. You can use a desk fan, a pinwheel. You can use water coming out of a tap as well. Those are all perfect. And you'll want to do this somewhere where there's quite a bit of light, so either outside or close to a window. When we get into the higher shutter speeds, we're going to need more light to be able to get a good exposure. So let's get set up. First, we're going to put our camera into shutter priority mode, which is a semi-automatic mode where you're going to control the shutter speed and the camera will take care of the aperture. All we're really worried about here is the shutter speed, so this is going to make the exercise easy. So put your camera into shutter priority mode, which is either TV or S, depending on what camera you use. And then you're going to set your ISO. If you're doing this exercise indoors, you'll want to start with 800 or maybe even higher, depending on how much light you have. If you're doing it outdoors, something lower like 200 or 400 will work well. All right, we're going to start with a slow shutter speed, so 1/15 of a second. So put your camera to 1/15 of a second. And now we're going to shoot. So with a pinwheel, you might need an assistant with a little fan to keep it going for you constantly. So I'll get my pinwheel going and then I'll take a photo at 1/15 of a second. All right, so what you should see here is that the fan is quite blurred. If you're shooting water, you'll see blur as well. Now, create a faster shutter speed, so move it up to 1/30 of a second and take another photo. And then go faster, 1/60. Keep going faster, the numbers don't matter too much, just keep increasing your shutter speed. I'm at 1/100th, now 1/200th. And just keep going until you can't go anymore. So you can start getting quite fast, and as you do get to the faster shutter speeds, you'll notice that it goes from looking quite blurred to where you can see all the individual parts. It's frozen that action. So again, you're going to want to do this where there's a lot of light, because when you're getting at those faster shutter speeds, you have less time for the light to come in. But as you can see, this has great creative uses. If you want to show the motion of an object and really get that feeling, use a slow shutter speed. If you're shooting some action, the fast shutter speed will help really freeze it and you can see clearly what's going on. So practice this. Remember, you can use a pinwheel. Water coming out of a tap is really cool. You start to see individual water droplets. And have fun with this. Try it at a bunch of different shutter speeds and you'll get a really good handle on using this in your own images.